Hello, it is Saturday, February 8th, 2025. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Saturday crossword today, which means we're going to be solving the second of two themeless puzzles for the week. It might be on the approachable side for a Saturday based on a comment I saw on the Daily Solve Discord chat server, but we'll find out soon enough. And this themeless edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Spriggs, Aaron Spiller, and, as always, the indomitable Showmaster and the indefinable Charlie Paget. Thank you so much to the four of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. Of course, they sustain this series, they keep this channel going day in, day out, and for that, I'm very grateful. Thank you so much to the four of them and to everybody who supports the channel via Patreon at any level. If you'd like to do so yourself, you can head to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the description field link. You'll find the bonus videos available to patrons, which this week include the mini puzzle pseudo speed solve, which I think I did pretty well on that one, and also the first Boss Words winter wonder solve puzzle. There'll be four of those over the coming weeks. And so yeah, a couple new videos up there. Look forward to those if you're a patron. And thanks to everybody who is, and thanks to everybody who supports at any level. There's also the mug for benefactors, of course. And you can also support the channel by subscribing on YouTube. And finally, you can, if you like, you can join the Daily Solve Discord chat server mentioned earlier, a nice, friendly chat community linked in the description field. All right, let's get on to today's crossword by Alina Abidi, who's constructed, I think, around half a dozen puzzles for the New York Times. It's a Saturday themeless crossword, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. Let's start solving, shall we? What may precede a blessing, a sneeze, or maybe the sound a chew? Let's see if that works. Group that had a 40-year gap between its two most recent studio albums, 1981 to 2021. That must be ABBA, who's back and also is in this, I think now, I think actually has been, for that 4-year duration, has been doing that sort of hologram live performance thing here in London as well. Study, study, study to cram for a test. Word with cow or communion. Holy cow is a kind of expression, an exclamation, and then Holy Communion is sacrament in the church. Lion is to pride as what is to parliament. You could have a pride of lions and a parliament of owls. So lion is to pride as owl is to parliament. We've got an analogy there. So we filled in Amy Sedaris of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. So Amy Sedaris. I don't even remember that show well enough, but yeah, she must have been in it. And then it gets inflated and goes straight to your head. Balloon something? It gets inflated and goes, what does it mean that it goes straight to your head? Balloon something. Air? I don't know, sorry. Flattering sort. A brown noser, someone who, kind of sucks up, a sycophant. Have we filled in anything else we've not yet read? I don't think we have. All right. Snap, crackle, or pop. Onomatopoeia. In other words, a word that itself evokes or sounds like the sound being named. Is this how you spell it? I'm honestly not 100% certain, but this is my guess. I might be. Let's check the cross to see if we can confirm or deny the spelling. Representation. A motif. I don't think that's right. Well, the M is, I'm sure, is correct, so we'll assume that's right and move on. Kibitzes. A kibitz is a bit of a chat, right? But chats is too long. A kibitz. Yeah, that's what that is, but from Yiddish, but I don't know the word we're looking for there. Foul moods. If you're in a foul mood, you may be in a bit of a snit, so maybe that could be it. Inexperienced gamers in slang. Well, that could be noobs, as in newbies, which is often spelled this way. It could also be spelled EW, but in this case is not. Okay, what about this A? Good in Italian. Buona. That works. What about this? Capo, e.g. So this word has a couple of different meanings. It could be a capo, like the tool you put on a guitar neck to sort of globally increase the pitch of all the strings by a certain number of semitones, depending on how many frets up you place the capo. But it could also mean Can also be a term for a kind of a sort of mob enforcer, basically. Or maybe not, maybe enforcer is the wrong word, but a sort of mid to high ranking member of an organized crime organization. I don't, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what we're looking for here exactly. What about this covert field? This is a clever clue. I've not seen this before. Covert field. So you read that and you think, oh, maybe espionage or something like that. It's a field of work that deals in the clandestine. But no, it's a field as in a sort of data entry field. It's a text field that you might encounter in an email composition window or something, and it's covert because it's the inclusions in that field are being hidden. So BCC, blind carbon copy, where you put the email addresses you don't want advertised on the email. Okay. Oh, a capo is a clamp. It is literally a clamp that you put on a guitar neck. Okay, so my explanation before was relevant, but I didn't have the right word initially. Title Toni Morrison character who lives in the bottom. Oh, Sula. That's a Toni Morrison character and book title. Crunchy chocolatey smoothie add-ins. Oh, carob, something like that. Crunchy chocolatey smoothie add-ins. Oh, maybe it's cacao nibs. That's what it is. Yes, cacao nibs are those very crunchy little chocolate bits. Okay, so this is looking good so far. Leering sorts. Lechers would be wrong. I mean, there's no way that C is going to be in here. It wouldn't fit anyway, so never mind. Once called. Nay, right. So from the French for born would mean your former name or a name you were born with that you don't currently go by. Cookie brand whose name is stylized with an exclamation point. Oh, this is Chips Ahoy. There we go. Which is a sort of packaged cookie brand, certainly not as designated by the New York Times as the official snack cookie of the New York Times crossword, as, say, the Oreo. Leering sorts. Oh, creeps might leer at people. There we go. Okay. This is looking good so far, the onomatopoeia. Feels for. Oh, pity. If you pity someone, you sort of feel for them. That works. Press. Don't know, but at this point, I'm confident in onomatopoeia's spelling, although I guess this kibitzes. Oh, maybe it's an A. It could be gabs. Okay, right. So I was wrong about that. Whoops, sorry about that. Anyway, I think that's probably right. And that looks correct. So they may be dry or dirty. A dry or dirty gin martini. So you could have a dry gin martini or a dirty gin martini with a bit of olive juice. Okay, press. Oh, the media. Yes, okay. So press is one of those words that obviously has quite a few meanings, but one of them is the journalistic sense. And then calculated is no accident, right. It was a calculated maneuver. It was no accident. I did it intentionally. If you're open, you're unguarded with your opinions, perhaps. Chef Jacques Pepin, holder of 16 James Beard Awards, the great Jacques Pepin, truly wonderful television chef, who still posts videos on YouTube. It's amazing. I don't know how old he is, but he still puts videos up, and they're great. Okay, teacup is mini, like a teacup breed of dog, a mini breed of dog. Is that what we're getting at? New York City attraction. Yeah, probably is, because this could be MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. So there we go. And then hill workers are ants, right? So you have ants in an anthill. Okay, this is going all right so far. It feels relatively approachable, as I was maybe expecting it to be, and seems to be. Many Fertile Crescent residents, Arabs, I mean, that part of the world is known as the Fertile Crescent. Let's check the crosses on that. Assessment for dummies, a crash course? That's not really an assessment. That would be maybe preparation for an assessment. I don't know. What about this? Oh, no, but it is crash something. It's right. It's crash test dummies, as in humanoid figurines put in a car to test automobile collisions. Okay, so it is a crash test, but it is totally different than what I was thinking of initially. Let's look at this. Blank Jinwon, Oscar-winning screenwriter for Parasite. All right, I think we had another. I think maybe a member of the cast from Parasite clued the other day, but I don't know the answer. Han, maybe. Providers of college courses, question mark. Something like cafeterias. I'm wondering if courses means food courses here. Ties. Bonds. Yeah, your bonds are ties. That's a simple, connections. That's a simple synonym. School whose mascot is Big Al the elephant, informally. I don't know this as knowledge, but honestly, one of the most clued schools in the New York Times crossword is Bama for the University of Alabama. So with that B, I'm guessing that's what it is, but let's check the crosses. Days of Grace memoirist, 1993. I don't know that I don't recognize this book, but it could be Arthur Ashe. I'm just guessing based on 4 letters starting with AS. Let's try it and see. It gets inflated and goes straight to your head. Balloon. Maybe not. I don't know. Come back to it. Representation. Oh, a model. You could have a representation of something else, a model of it. So this does look like ash, doesn't it? So what's this then? It gets inflated and goes straight to your head. I have no idea. Providers of college courses. Oh, meal plans. That's what it is. Right. So, you might purchase a meal plan at university that covers a certain number of meals per day in a cafeteria. Oh, it's a balloon hat. Right. Okay. So I guess someone makes a balloon hat, inflates it, and it goes, inflates it, makes it, and it goes straight to your head afterwards. Okay. So term of art. There we go. So, a kind of, could be a bit of jargon or an idiom used to refer to, maybe idiom's the wrong word perhaps, but a phrase used to refer to something specific. Abbott and Costello in the film Arrival, informally. Is this the film, the sort of relatively recent science fiction film Arrival, or is this an older film? Oh, Abbott and Costello, is that what were those their nicknames for the extraterrestrials, the ETs? I don't remember. I haven't seen that film since it was in the cinema. I did enjoy it, but I don't remember this detail. I think it must have been their names for the sort of alien creatures. Let's see. Plant item used in early genetics experiments. Those are, that would be the pea pod used by Mendel, famously. 2010's satirical reality series starring comedian Fielder. Oh, Nathan for You. No, whoops, sorry, I spelled that wrong. Yeah, there we go. This was a series in which Nathan Fielder approaches small business owners and proposes completely preposterous business plans to improve their commercial viability. Okay, keyboard shortcut for switching between window applications. Alt-Tab is a shortcut for that purpose on a computer. Common but often counterproductive response to a recurring problem. Common but often counterproductive response. Don't know offhand. What a button mushroom becomes when it matures. Interesting. I don't know what this is about. I'm curious about it, though. What about this one? Thelma and Louise auto, informally. Oh, is it a T-Bird? Is it a Ford Thunderbird? I think that might be right. Let's check the crosses and see. Studios, say, abbreviated. You could have a studio apartment, so we could have apartments abbreviated to APTS. Celebrity chef with a role in the 1995 film Casino. Oh, I don't know. I've seen Casino probably twice, but I have no idea. I wonder if I would even have recognized this person. I don't think I was very aware of celebrity chefs circa 1995. Let's see. Prune, unless it's Jack Pepin, which it will not be. Prune is trim. Gas-infused coffee order. Nitro. Yeah, I don't exactly know what this is, but I do know that there is some kind of coffee with something injected into it, and it must be whatever that gas is. Rikishi's sport is sumo, right? Of course, the Rikishi is a practitioner of sumo, right? And then Nobu maybe, right? Okay, so I don't know very much about Nobu, the actual person, but I know that he has a sort of chain of high-end restaurants in various cities, sushi and such. So let's see. What a button mushroom becomes when it matures. Oh, portobello. Right, okay. Fair enough. That makes sense, I guess. They look sort of similar. Kind of rocket that launches satellites. Kind of. Or should this be obvious? I don't know offhand. Common but often counterproductive response to a recurring problem. Anti-paternal? What is this? I don't know, sorry. Do the Right Thing Pizzeria. Right, this is Sal's. Technically, the name of the pizzeria is Sal's Famous Pizzeria, but yeah, it's effectively Sal's Pizzeria in the truly great Spike Lee film, Do the Right Thing. I was just thinking about this film recently. It's a really amazing movie. I really think it's actually one of the best movies of its sort of specific era. Anyway, organization whose workers usually wear gloves. The TSA, I suppose, the Transport Security. I need to at some point figure out if it's the agency or administration so I can stop wondering every time I see that acronym. Or that initialism, kind of rocket that launches satellites. Okay, Atlas. I was wondering if it was going to be that, but that was sort of just a guess. I don't really think I recognize it as knowledge. So what is the common but often counterproductive response to a recurring problem? An anti-pattern. Right. Oh, okay, yeah. This is not a phrase that I encounter very often, but an anti-pattern, it's I'm not the right person to explain this. I think this is a sort of programming term, or at least it gets used in programming. I'm sure it's not specific to programming, but it's effectively I guess it's actually what's being described in the clue fairly well, which is kind of behavior that tends to occur as the result of some other bit of behavior, and it produces a negative outcome. But because of the way the elements of the system interact with each other, it actually makes it likely that this will frequently be the case. So you have to find a way to solve that from a design standpoint. Anyway, Blank Larson, Harlem Renaissance novelist. Right, I didn't put in pattern. So this is Nella Larson, and then, sorry, this goes in there. Hairstyles celebrated in the Black is Beautiful movement, afros. And I guess so it is Black History Month, and I guess we have a few, maybe we have a few nods to that with afros and Nella. And wasn't there something else that could arguably be put in that category? But I don't remember. Not that we need an excuse of the month, but it just did occur to me just now. Anyway, turn away is to turn someone or something away. Avoid? I don't know. River through Bristol, England. Oh, Avon, River Avon. Turn away. Oh, avert. To avert your eyes, to turn away your eyes. Feeling associated with the color red is anger. Nod, say, would be to agree. And then pro sports team named for some of its equipment is, the Nets. Well, this is the third time. No, I guess it's at least the second time the Nets have come up in the crossword recently, but one of the times was the Nats, which I was confusing, and I think I might have originally said Nets. Niche product of Coca-Cola and 7-Up, a cherry soda. I was going to say cherry Coke, but that wouldn't apply to 7-Up, obviously, so maybe it's generically cherry soda. Let's see. Fareed Zakaria's channel. I recognize that name as a television journalist, so probably CNN, the cable news network. What about this? Big Board initials, NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange, on which I guess there must be, Big Board is capitalized, so this must be a common bit of jargon, a term of art, perhaps you might say. I wouldn't really put it in this context, but anyway, that must be where the stock prices are listed or something like that. I don't know. This might come in handy later in brackets, note to self. So the brackets here, I think, basically mean, I guess in this case, it sort of means you're thinking it to yourself rather than saying it out loud. So this comes, note to self, you might think, and then obviously jot it down. Target, or just think about it. Target of some phishing scams abbreviation would be Social Security number in the U.S. And then elegy, e.g. is, an elegy is, I don't know. Why do I not see that? What an orange dot might indicate in a chat. Idle? Is that true? I don't really recognize that offhand, but maybe someone's idle. Maybe an orange dot is the convention for that. I can't really remember. Only U.S. president other than JFK to be buried in Arlington National Cemetery. It must be Taft. Did he have some specific military connection? I honestly should know that, but I don't offhand. But anyway, it must be the answer. I don't know what else would fit there. Middle of a date is middle of a date. Does it mean the words a date? Does it mean, it means the fruit, right? Okay, so I was thinking it probably doesn't mean a romantic encounter because that especially on a Saturday, you just expect a bit of misdirection around things like this. But it's the fruit, a date, so it has a pit in the middle of it. Elegy, e.g., a poem. An elegy is an example of a poem. I was trying to think of something more specifically elegiac, but no, it's just referring to elegy being an example of poetry in general. And then some high expectations are left unmet, certainly the case. And no, I have something wrong. Oh, that's a shame. All right, well, all of you who have been yelling at me through the screen since whenever I made that mistake, maybe if you're a little louder, I might hear you. I'm going to pause the video, try and run through this quickly so you don't need to watch me boringly parse a grid, and we'll see if I can find it. I'll be right back. Okay, I think I might have found it. This is my third time going through the grid. I just did not see this. This is brutal. So onomatopoeia and buona. I was thinking before I said buona, well, it could be buono or buona, but depending on the gender. But I just took it for granted that this letter was already in the grid, and therefore I didn't need to think about it very hard. But I bet, because I can't find anything else that's incorrect, after two sweeps through the grid, I bet that this is an O, and it's buono, an onomatopoeia. So I think actually, yeah, I had two O. When I first spelled this, I had two O's there. No, I had OA, and I had to reverse them to be, I had AO, and I had to reverse them to be OA. Oops. Okay, good. What a relief. Anyway, so this really tripped me up. This was my bane throughout the puzzle. Probably will be the case for others as well, just because it is a fairly it's not a word that one spells very frequently, or at least I don't. But there we go. That was the crossword with a bit of a sting in the tail there. And let me know if you got tripped up on this particular word or elsewhere in the puzzle, whether you found. I mean, I do think I agree that this was a relatively approachable Saturday puzzle in general. But yeah, this was brutal, especially since I think buona could have been, I think either one of those could have been a valid answer in theory for good. But regardless, there we have it. It's a themeless puzzle, so there's no theme to review. That was the Saturday crossword, and hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow for the Sunday puzzle, which will have a theme, will be a larger grid. Hopefully will be relatively gentle as well, and come back tomorrow and find out. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Saturday. Take care.